So,
Murray, I'd like to declare a conflict.
all right, thank you. Okay, I will turn this over to Rhonda and Corey on variation application 01-2022. Rhonda, would you go ahead, please?
Okay, and I will in turn this over to our development officer, Corey Dixon, to provide the information on this variation.
Corey?
Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Doug, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. So with respect to the above variation, 01-2022, you should have had a package which included a copy of variation order. Sorry, the order doesn't actually go to council, this just goes to Jill. A notice of the hearing, site location and distribution, area map, and any other information submitted with the application. So in accordance with sections 96 and 169 of the Planning Act concerning notice of this hearing was issued to the owner, the applicant, and 40 neighboring properties within 100 meters of the affected area. Notice was sent out February 7th, 2022. From that notice, we've received one phone call back from that area, and they were just checking in to see what the meaning of the notice and application was. They had no objections or concerns, they were just wondering. So in accordance with section 97(1) of the Planning Act, and upon completion of this hearing and consideration of the matter, council must make an order either A, rejecting the application, or B, varying the application of specific provisions of the zoning bylaw with regard to the affected property in the manner specified in the order if the variance meets the following 4 criteria. 1, it will be compatible with the general nature of the surrounding area. 2, it will not be detrimental to the health or general welfare of people living or working in the surrounding area, or negatively affect other properties or potential development in the surrounding area. 3 is the minimum modification of a zoning bylaw required to relieve the injurious effect of the zoning bylaw on the applicant's property. And 4 is generally consistent with applicable provisions of the development plan, the zoning bylaw, or any secondary plan bylaws. Council is to ensure that the development substantially complies to those above 4 clauses. As per section 98(1) of the Planning Act, in approving an application for variation, council may either A, impose any conditions on the approval that it considers necessary to meet those requirements, and B, it may also require the owner of the affected property to enter into a development agreement under section 150. So the backgrounder on this is the applicant is looking to construct an attached garage on the side of the existing house. The purpose of the application is in designing the garage to accommodate the vehicles. The applicant has determined that they will need to construct the garage within 2 feet of the property line. The town of Verdon zoning bylaw requires a principal building to be set back a minimum of 4 feet from the sideline. So comments from myself, the development officer, sorry. The proposed development would require a fire rated assembly in accordance with Manitoba Building Code. So some recommendations for council's consideration from our department. I would recommend the council consider placing the following conditions on this variation order if approved. 1, that the wall of the garage running parallel to the property line be designed to meet the Manitoba Building Code spatial separations between houses. 2, that the eaves not be located within 12 inches of the property line. And 3, that the order be acted upon within 12 months of the date of making. That is my spiel.
Does anyone have any questions for Corey regarding this issue? Does anyone have any questions for the applicant?
Travis's hand was up. Sorry, Mark.
Sorry, didn't see him. Go ahead, Travis.
So, yeah, I just have a question on the neighboring property. Have they agreed to, or don't have any objection to this?
I have not heard from them. They've received their notice, and so I've heard no objections from them, I guess. I haven't heard either way.
I guess when we consider these variations, we often have to consider the precedent we're setting, and I'm just wondering, is there a danger of that or a problem with that down the road?
There's always the potential for setting a precedent. I guess I've seen this variation done a fair few times before in the last few years, to that 2 feet mark. Generally, I've never really seen it go closer than that, but building code does allow for it, as long as that fire rating is put in place.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any other questions from anyone? Okay, and none for the applicant either, I'm assuming. Councilor
Mr.
Penner?
Mayor, yeah, if I could just ask the applicant, Mr. Wright, if he's had any discussions with his neighboring property or the owner of the neighboring property.
No, I haven't. The owner to the west, which would be affected, he doesn't live in Verdun. He lives in Winnipeg, and people that are in there, to my knowledge, are just renting the place.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Corey, the fellow that owns that property has been notified though, correct?
I can verify that in a couple seconds here. He should have been, it was sent out. I'm just gonna verify it.
Just to make sure and cover our,
Yeah.
There's just one Winnipeg address there.
Assuming that's his, but I will.
Yeah, the
Councilor
owner
Gardner?
is,
sorry, Doug.
sorry, I was
Yeah.
just gonna,
Just a question for Rita, Corey, or Doug, or whatever. Will there be access off the existing street into the new driveway, or is the driveway gonna be part of the old driveway? Or do they have to cut the curb to make it wider?
I'll let you answer that one, Doug, if you want.
yeah, nothing's gonna change with the driveway. The access and everything is exactly the same.
Okay, great. Any other questions for the applicant?
Corey's just trying to confirm this address.
Mhm.
Yeah, I can confirm that the neighboring owner was notified in accordance with the Planning Act.
Great, that's good. Thank you very much. That covers that off. Okay, if there's no other questions, we can, I guess we could go ahead and vote on this if we wanted, or do we want to wait till we go back into our regular meeting? Okay, let's, if we're all done here and nobody else has any questions. Corey, you have no other comments you want to make?
No, not unless there's any questions.
Okay. Hearing none then, I will get a motion that we leave this and go back into our regular meeting. And at that time, we can vote on it. Councillor Williams, Councillor Gardner. Any discussion on wanting to do this? Everybody understands what we're doing?
She can't be
I'm gonna
there.
call for the vote. All in favor? Whoops, sorry, Corey.
I just wanted to mention, Doug, so they're gonna leave this meeting and then they will go back into council to decide on this. And I will contact you in a little bit with the decision if that works.
She'll have to leave it then.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you very much for your help. I will leave the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, all in favor for the motion that we just talked about?
This is just to adjourn. Oh,
Okay, and
okay.
opposed, carried. Okay, we'll leave this one and we'll go back into our regular meeting. What did I do wrong, Tara?
No, I'm confused. Don't worry